Hey, Brad. What's up?
Hey, Brad.
Just chilling. What's
Yeah.
up?
Hey, I have a question for you.
Okay, what's your question?
Why did you decide to go to college?
That is a great question. So, I don't think I would have went to college if I didn't play basketball in college. That was like my reason for going to college. I think that, yeah, I wouldn't have went to college unless I played basketball. And then once I got to college, it was such a great time. I was like, damn, I might as well finish this out. And my parents were like supportive, kind of pressuring more likely to say. They're like, hey, you have to finish school now and we're going to pay for it, which is, shout out to my parents. Thank you. It's awesome. It's definitely a financial burden that most people don't
Carry for a long time.
Always
Yeah.
nice to have supportive parents.
Absolutely.
It makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that's kind of why I'm in college is because played basketball. Then I was like, fuck, I don't really know what I'm going to do. So I might as well just go back to school, waste a couple more years. And so,
Waste some more money, waste some more years of my life.
Yeah,
My
I mean,
youth.
So something I always hear from a lot of people, I ask them, why do you go to school? Because like personally, I'll just throw it out there now. I don't personally believe in college. But a lot of people,
that's a loaded question.
I don't believe it exists.
yeah. But a lot of people give me the answer. Well, I'm paying for the experience.
I hear that
That's
so many times.
That is a
That's an
fuckload of money.
expensive ass fucking experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are telling me that you honestly believe that people are paying $50,000 just for the experience.
Well, I've heard it a lot.
Okay,
that's
is it-
their number one reason as to why they're going to college.
Yeah, I get that, but do you actually think that they're paying $50,000 for an experience?
I don't think that they know what the fuck they're going
Yeah,
there
that's
for.
I agree. I don't think
really
they know
don't.
really why
I
they're
think
going.
that they know it's the fucking status quo in society to go to college. So they're saying, well,
I'll go.
they're following the sheep.
Yep.
Okay, you
Sheeple.
guys. All right, I like it that you guys are teaming up on me now, but
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
teaming
stand
up.
for everybody that is in school.
Okay.
So, first of all, I'm not saying that I completely agree with everybody going to college.
Mhm.
That is dumb. What I will say is, for the people who want to do engineering, doctoring, or study law, you have to go to school.
Oh yeah, there are certain fields for sure you need to have some formal education. Like I couldn't go and learn like pharmaceuticals or how to do surgery, if I didn't go to school.
You have
for
to go
it.
to school for that
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
There are
so
some exceptions.
I got you
I
guys
agree.
there, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
now
a good point.
I'm gonna
Very
keep
good point.
going. Okay.
Okay.
So CJ, you hire people. So I've always been told my whole entire life, you can't even get looked at for higher positions unless you have a degree. So will you just explain that to me? Explain your guys' argument there.
There is for sure some truth to that, because when I'm looking for hires, I am looking for past experiences, and that doesn't necessarily mean schooling. It also doesn't necessarily mean real world practice, but I am looking for something. And when it's said like how I go to school for marketing or for sales and marketing, stuff like that, it does boost their numbers a lot. I will tell you that. But when it comes down to the actual interview, I don't really care about whether they went to school or not. When it comes down to the interview, it comes to how well they can talk, how well they can form their words, how well they can create conversation. I don't really even listen to what they're saying. It's more or less just how well they are at talking and how long they can talk for, and just how well they express themselves and show confidence.
Okay. Do you not think that schooling gives you those tools and tactics?
So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say schooling. I don't think the schooling system teaches you any of those practices. No. I think it depends on the person and like how you've been like what you've inherited. Because when it comes to schooling, dude, I think schooling was made during the Industrial Revolution, hundreds of years ago. Like, when it happened. I honestly don't even know when that was. I'm probably like 100.
Late 1800s, early
Okay.
1900s.
Yeah.
So it was made during that time, okay? And during that time, it was pumping people out to be workers and go into the workforce. So you had to take orders, and that's all you had to do. And that's still to this day what it is. You sit in a classroom for 8 hours, pure lecturing. You have at least 5 hours minimum a day of lecturing in school. People say that lecturing is bad for you. They also say, what is it? Fuck. I have no idea what I was going on. I totally lost my train of thought. Basically, though, it's created just to pump out workers. And I don't really agree with that whole system.
And your question to him, was it that don't you think school helps like people be able to like have conversations? Is that kind of the basis that you were going on?
That was my question.
No.
Okay.
Not even close.
Have you? Well, you haven't because neither you went to college, but they actually have classes in business anyways. So you learn about interviews, how to interview properly, how to answer certain questions in interviewing, how to make a resume, how to it was like business communications. So we learned how to send business emails, how to like do all the things that you're going to need to do once you get in an organization.
Great. But that doesn't make you I mean, yeah, that's all helpful stuff. I can go look that up on YouTube.
Thank you. Yes.
By
That's
the
what I
way,
was gonna say.
and I don't have to pay a fucking cent for it.
Yeah.
And also,
Are you going to do that though?
If you're,
Why would you not?
If you're committed,
Yeah.
I would say.
Okay.
there's no difference between someone being committed that's not in school and someone that's committed in school.
That's great. So
The
why?
only difference is
then-
you're being forced.
Yeah,
to be in school.
exactly. But
And people like put people up on this. If they're going to school, they're up on this pedestal.
I mean,
That's how
I
our
don't-
society looks
I
at
don't
it.
agree with that, and I think that is kind of a society shift that needs to happen. But
Hold on,
something
you don't agree with what? Just kind of re-say it.
I
didn't hear.
don't agree with the whole like putting people on a pedestal in society
I
because
said
they
our
went to college.
society puts people that go to college up on a pedestal as opposed to those that didn't.
I do think there's definitely some sort of social norm that says you need to go to school.
Okay, yes, there is a social norm because you can't come out of school and get a $50,000 to $100,000 job unless you have that degree saying, "Hey, I went to so and so and I completed this."
I don't know. It's not true.
Okay, tell me a big name company that is gonna hire somebody that is
With
making
no-
over $60,000 a year with no schooling.
That's me though.
Okay, that's great. That's you. But what I'm saying is, the company that we work for is different than at any other
you're
place.
right. Okay, you're totally right. I think it should be more structured around the way that we view things and how we work here. So you're asking just a general company.
I'm asking if you can find me majority of companies who will hire people who don't have a college education.
And no, you can't. And that's what's fucked. Because even Gary Vee, he preaches, right? He says he would rather have people that did not go to school that he would hire. But if you actually look at the statistics, at what's his
VaynerMedia.
VaynerMedia, thank you.
Vayner.
At
Vayner.
VaynerMedia, the majority of all the people that work there do have degrees. There's only like a handful that don't. But
Yeah.
he preaches that it should. And I think what happens is you need to streamline it. And it gets to a point where, Gary, like, he's probably like, yeah, he does believe that. He does believe that he should have more people that did not go to school and who actually taught themselves. But at a point when you're such a huge company, you just have to streamline it a little bit more. And I think that's what it is you know.
And I think it also really depends on the kind of field of work that you're going into. Because I know as a freelance photographer or videographer, I don't need, any school for that.
You don't think it would have helped you to like take
No.
classes on editing and
No, absolutely not.
You think it's just all experience?
Experience,
teach
but I can,
himself.
with that kind of thing, and most things in this day and age, I can go on YouTube, and I'm a visual learner myself. I can go on there and actually watch what I need to learn and how it's being done from people that are extremely successful, people that have been doing it for 25, 30 years, like Peter McKinnon. That's where I learned
Yeah.
like most of my stuff from. That guy has been taking pictures. He's been a photographer for, I think, like 20, 25 years is what he said. He's been doing it for a long time. School might teach me some of that stuff, but also just the personal touch, the creative side that he brings to it that a classroom is not going to bring to it. It's like a classroom, I think about it as it's just a chopped up robotic system.
Yeah.
That's meant to just push you out. There's no like organic.
And I can see that. One thing that I will say though that you mentioned is he's an expert in that field, right? Every single teacher that is that teaches me have 20 years of experience in the field that they're teaching.
Yeah.
The problem isn't the teacher, because the teachers, I'll have some teachers step outside of their box, be really awesome, kind of like not follow the course policy, and then just I learn a lot in those classes. The problem is they have to read from this textbook that is 20 years old and just terrible. And the problem is the teachers have a certain curriculum because they have to meet the state requirements. And so now everybody's getting taught the same things when really the teacher should kind of run the show and be the individual and the expertise in the field that they actually mastered and actually put their work in.
Right. And I don't think the problem necessarily is like the people. I think there is a problem with some people at the top because obviously changes aren't being made. But I think like the actual teachers and kind of the lower end of people, I don't think that's the issue. I think it's the system.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is a system problem. I'm not saying that there isn't a problem with the education system. There absolutely is. But what I'm saying is I think that schooling is important. And I think that you're kind of right. It forces you to take on your education. And I mean, I'm a college student, and for the record, I hate school. I hate school. I wouldn't be in school. I could be an A student, but I'm a C student because I just don't try hard. And yeah, I hate school, but I can see the benefits of it.
Okay, so you said, I think what you said is you want to take your education seriously, is what you just said? A few words back, something along the lines of that?
I take my education, so I take my learning seriously. But that is in different contexts. So I don't learn very well in a classroom. But anything that I don't know or learn in a classroom, I step outside because I need to pass a test, and I learn it on my own.
Perfect. So that is what I think we're coming to is education.
Yeah.
But
I take my education very seriously.
When are you guys going to go take a test to see if you actually know it?
Oh,
real world. I take that out in the real world. I work with clients.
Exactly.
I go out there and I take thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures. And 4 years ago when I started taking pictures on my phone, I could show you a fucking test right there. I pull up the first pictures I ever took.
So what if you could streamline it into a 6-month course?
But also
there is definitely ways that you can do that. You can go. There's a website
it's called
Skillshare.
Go to school and
there's
class
inauthentic learning. So that's something it's called inauthentic learning is what they actually call it, because students don't retain any information after a test. Do you realize it's like something like 70% of all information that people learn is lost after a test? That's fucked, because you're only learning the information to pass the test. It's not to educate yourself or to retain the information.
That's a great point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I want to ask you now.
The same fucking question.
Do you study for a test because you actually genuinely want to learn about the material that's on that test, or you just know you have to pass the test?
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
I study to pass the test.
At least you're honest.
I take classes to get my degree, and I get a degree because I want to have a chance to get a job because I said I got a degree.
But so that test in the end, I mean,
it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't.
And here's the thing.
Help you, right?
No, and here's the thing.
So what the fuck's the point?
The point is to get the degree, to get the job, and then you get the experience. Because if you don't do that, you're gonna fucking start out at the bottom. You might be a janitor, Goodwill Hunting, but you're not smart. Then you're going to be a janitor, right? You're going to work
Goodwill
your way
Hunting, but you're stupid.
Yeah, Goodwill Hunting, but you're dumb. You don't know how to do math. So
because you didn't go to college?
No, I'm not saying that. You're just not a genius, all right? So you
what? And since you go to college, you're a genius?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I know things that you guys don't.
But we know things that you don't.
Yeah, we know things you don't.
That's great.
That's fine. Everybody's that way.
Yeah. That's the fucking
so
world.
So we're good. So I'm not saying anything else besides that.
But you paid how much?
I didn't pay shit. I haven't paid 1 cent.
Okay, so
I pay my rent. That's
so
it.
let's say the person that can't financially have their parents cover it for them.
Don't go to college.
Well,
but if they do,
but if what's you're preaching is that you need to have you need to have schooling to come
It's
out.
different for every person.
Every point that you just made, though.
Yeah.
And then you're saying if your parents don't pay for it, don't go.
Because listen, let's do the statistics, okay? Say you go to a regular school, your first year's $20K, every year after that's around 15, say.
Wait,
so you're looking at
what is that of debt?
Yeah, so you're looking at around $75,000 in student loans, okay? You're going to go out and get a job making $50,000 a year, okay? And then your student loans, that's going to take you 10, 15 years to pay off.
Yep.
That's stupid. I'm not saying for the people who don't have someone paying for their college. If you don't have the money or you don't have the financial backing for your parents to pay for your college, and you don't want to be either one, a doctor, a lawyer, a engineer, a nurse, anything that requires extensive college, don't do it, because you're going to spend most of your career paying off your student loans when you could go make $40,000 a year because you can't get the top level job, and now you don't have to pay $1,000 a month in student loans.
Okay.
So for those people that don't go to school, how do they get good jobs?
Yeah, because you said earlier the big corporations, right? You have to go to school in order just to get like a fucking basic job there, right?
Yeah. Start at the basic job, work your ass off, do things that people who have the degrees and are above you aren't doing. So, and that kind of, we'll get into the whole pay raise, how to get a raise, and we'll talk about that in a podcast. But
No, I didn't know that.
well, surprise.
We will.
We will. One, you just work your way up. You put in your time, and the problem is with this day and age, and you guys can attest to this, how many jobs have you had?
Okay, well,
many jobs?
I've had probably like 11 jobs.
Yeah, how many jobs have you quit after you got bored of it?
I've quit 10 of those jobs after like 2-3 months.
Okay, CJ? Well, you're a bad example.
But this is the only job, Foothills, the only job that I've actually thought of it as like, not even like, it's like a job, but also like something I'm actually like building myself for.
Yeah, I get that.
I actually have like reasoning in coming here and doing the things that I should be doing. Like all those other jobs, it was just to get a fucking paycheck and work for somebody else.
I know. But what I'm asking is, so if you would have stayed, I know you were a car salesman. If you would have stayed with the car salesman, got good at that. Yeah, for a month. But if you would have stayed there and been a car salesman, do you think that you would be making money right now? Good money? If you would have grinded it out and you probably would have got a raise to maybe a floor manager of car sales, I don't know what the fuck they're called, and then you would have made more money, then you're maybe the president or maybe you're the general manager. The thing is for people who don't have the money or to go to school and they don't want to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, it's not important for them to do. It's important for them to save money, to get a job, save money, and then really like get in the inquiry about what do I actually want to do with my life.
Yeah. And to answer your question real quick about if I would have stayed there and grinded it out, definitely would be making really good money.
Yeah.
And like you said with the they're called like finance managers and stuff at car dealerships. Those guys make a lot of money. Yeah. I'm talking like 300, 400, 500,000 a year.
Yeah.
At least.
What?
Yes.
And so something,
at least where I was working at.
Yeah, and something you guys will see, and CJ, I'm really glad that you hire people a lot because you can kind of attest to this. But if you were to get an application from somebody and it said they have a master's in business and their minors like marketing and sales, would you not be intrigued and get them an interview?
I for sure would, but I would be more intrigued by the other person that says runs free motion media marketing and has this much experience and blah blah blah, because I know real life experience and taking things into your own hands is so much more valuable than going to a school to learn that, because you're not even learning it, you're hearing it and passing a test to get that.
Absolutely.
And also you're not really applying it to anything. You don't really know what it's like.
No,
you know?
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I have a really good question for you then. So you're in school going for business, right?
Yes.
You're also working at Foothills.
Yes.
Which one has provided more value?
Oh, Foothills, 100 times more than school.
Okay.
But I will say this.
And you're getting paid for it too.
And I'm getting paid for it. But I will say this. So we own our own company, and we're all really entrepreneur-based people.
CEO, baby.
Yeah, CEO.
That's in the news this week for Roaring 20s.
Absolutely. But what I'll say is, if I wasn't an entrepreneur and if I didn't like really not want to have a boss forever, I don't
shot.
think that I would. Yeah, I don't. I could see me going and getting a 9 to 5 job, doing marketing or sales for another company. That didn't give me the opportunity to own my own company.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying schooling is great. And one experience, partying, you meet people, you're networking. It's
It is
awesome.
good. Yeah.
It's awesome. And you learn a little bit to pass tests, but it's not about that. It's just about the end result. It's about getting the degree. It's about getting your footstep in a door where, the school offers actually a lot of like job fairs. Like your counselor like knows people, they'll hook you up. So they'll be like, okay, like you're cool. Like I'll send you over to this company. You can kind of talk to them, get an interview. And I don't think that people who don't go to school, they're on Indeed looking for jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're taking minimal jobs when if you graduate, like, yeah, you're like, oh, fuck, yeah, I'm not going to settle for anything less than 40K.
Yeah.
Because you can't.
Yeah. And also kind of to bounce back to the whole interview question real quick.
Yeah.
How many people have you had that you've interviewed that have all the college like credentials
That have not
like,
worked out.
They look good on paper,
Yep.
but you get them in for an interview
No
and they
person.
can't fucking talk.
No personable skills. Like it's incredibly hard to hold a conversation. You can tell that they think they've gotten a lot of information and education from the schooling system. But then when you ask them a question about a scenario in real life or how camaraderie works for you or teamwork or things that actually are real world values, they have no idea and don't know how to answer it.
Yeah, and I can think of multiple people in my life that go to college, but they're horrible with people. They can't have they can't hold a conversation with a random stranger.
Yep.
And like
You
And
guys
bef-
are both just mad. You guys are just mad.
About
Why?
what?
Why am I mad?
Why are you guys mad that people want to go to school? Like,
I'm not
'cause
mad that
when we were
people-
doing the research for this, you guys had a little stigma around people who want to go to school for the
No, no, no.
experience. What is wrong with that?
Oh, I didn't bring that up. Colton brought that up, and it's a good
About-
point. I do think it is true. People do want to go for the experience, but I don't have a stigma around people going to school. It's not the people's fault. It's the fucking system's fault.
Yeah.
I think the system needs to change. So if you look at Finland, for example, back in, I don't remember when it was. I probably started around the 40s or 50s. I looked at it earlier. I don't remember. U.S. and Finland were right on par for the same course. They were having pretty much ranked number 57 in the world for academics. They were not good. In 2012, U.S. was ranked 29, I think, and Finland was ranked number 1. And it's because they changed their entire schooling system. They only go to school for about 3 or 4 years. They only go to school for about 3 or 4 hours a day, 20 hours a week. And all of them speak 3 to 4 languages. They all have no homework because Finland has realized that creativity is probably the biggest part of education because you discover it.
It is.
And
And
there's just a lack of autonomy in the schooling system. There's no personal I'm going to take things on. It's you sit down, I'll tell you what to do and you take my orders and you do it. And if you do it well, you'll pass this class. And that's what they want you to do because as soon as you get out of the schooling system, you need to go look for that because you don't know how to do anything in your life. So you need to go look for somebody who can tell you what to do and you'll do it. And that's how you get rewarded. That's how you get instant gratification is because you find a boss that tells you what to do. You do it and he says, good job.
we have a bunch of followers,
okay,
I think.
is there anything wrong with that?
With being told what to do?
Yeah, we need workers.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
so we do need workers. I just think workers have... Well, one, who says we need that just because that's currently where we're at?
yeah, it's only
And two... Well, go ahead.
no.
I
I
mean,
was just going to say...
it's kind of crazy to think that we don't. We need workers.
We do, but there's no creativity in anything. I'm sure
And I agree. And you can kind of see that between Google and stuff. They have the way their office is all
Yeah.
around creativity.
They're
and
workers.
Imagine if
But-
everybody, and I mean, I can't say everybody, but the majority of people hate going to their job in the morning. They dread waking up and going to work. Imagine if we had a country full of people that were excited and ready to go to work because they loved the people that they were around. They loved what they went in and did.
So you guys are making the proposal that schooling is the reason why people don't have freedom in their life.
I think it's a pretty big reason because it's just this way that you see. It's the easiest way to get comfortable in your life.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know. That's not what I said. I don't think schooling is creating a lack of freedom. I think it's creating a lack of creativity and opportunity,
which turns into a lack of freedom.
I agree. I think that the education system has not changed in almost 100 years. And I think that there do need to be changes to be made, but I don't know how you can just up and change your education system. Like the way our systems are right now, it is so hard to change anything. You have to pass through all the levels of government. You have to get funding, and I don't think that it's plausible or possible in the next 50 years.
Part of the problem, man. You're part of the problem.
How am I part of the problem when there's
you just don't think there's any
okay,
change.
What's the solution? Tell me a solution.
I don't know exactly what it is, but
you take away 5 hours a day and you're just like, oh, you got 3 hours of class.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that there's a model to look to, which is Finland. That's a start.
Okay, what about China? China is one of the most highly educated people in the world, and they go to school for 12 hours a day.
Yeah, there are other signs because in Europe, when they do schooling, they don't really do tests. They do tests at the end of the year because you have to understand they don't do tests once every week or 2 weeks or quarter, semester, stuff like that. They do one big test at the end of the year to see if you pass. And if you pass, you go on to the next year. That's because you have to retain the information. China does a similar thing. You need to know what you're learning. And if you pass the test at the end of the year, then you're good to go. It's because they are educated. They learn it. They discover it. Exactly.
All right. So what are you saying? America is just a bunch of dummies just walking around with college degrees?
I'm saying it was created to pump out workers because during the Industrial Revolution, that's what we needed.
It's
for
working.
Who? For the classes are separating more and more. The rich are getting richer. The poor get poor. I mean,
where does the United States rank on?
I think it was 26 or 27.
Yeah,
Okay.
26 or 27.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing. There needs to be a change in the school system. I get that. But you guys can't deny the facts that you not necessarily need a degree, but having a degree gets you one step further and getting a job.
I would say so.
I would say
I think it's an easier way to get it.
I would say it helps you get a foot in the door.
Why do you not want to party for 4 years,
in the
pass
60s,
test, and then go get a job?
Sorry, I looked up the facts. So in the 60s, we were pretty much equal until 2000s. We were ranked 29. Finland was ranked number 1.
I just don't think that is of any importance at all.
What? Where we rank?
Yeah,
well, in the world amongst geez, if I could talk, among like education, we're 29th.
Okay, I'm not. It matters, but does it really matter? Because think about you guys talk about separation of class, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that our poverty line is like a wealthy line in other countries?
Oh yeah.
It's all relative. And so
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there needs to be a change in the education system. I don't see it being possible for 50 years. Until technology takes over education, I don't think it's possible.
Hold on, repeat that one more time. Sorry.
So, I don't think that education is possible. Like the change of education is possible until like IT or like VR or all that stuff kind of takes over.
Why?
Well, hold on. No, what? Dude, Finland did it in the 60s. Though.
Great. And how many? I want to know how many years it took.
Oh, it took from the 60s to the 2000s.
50 years.
What do you think?
So you're just saying discredit everything and don't do anything at all?
You're saying until technology takes over our education system. Yeah. So what you're saying? The people that all went to college to get degrees aren't capable of revamping the education system?
Why doesn't someone who didn't go to college do it?
I'm sure they're working on it.
Okay, riddle me this, okay? We talk a lot about Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Engineer.
Yeah.
Went to college.
Yeah.
Okay.
Google.
We could also talk about all the people that didn't. Albert Einstein failed fucking 6th grade.
Okay, that's great.
Con economy or con education, whatever that is. He says that education isn't formal. He didn't go to college, and I'm pretty sure he dropped out of high school.
Okay, we could go back and forth. on
Yeah,
that.
I'm just throwing
There's-
it
either way.
Okay, you're right.
There's plenty of millionaires that
you're
didn't
right.
go to college. There's plenty that did.
You're right.
Yeah.
We're talking though about our viewers watching this. So people who are like 18 that, oh shit, should I go to college? Should I not go to college?
Yeah.
I am saying, if your parents are paying for your college or at least some of it, go to college. If you're a guy, meet a girl. If you're a girl, meet a guy. Have fun with your friends.
Marry into a
drink.
rich family.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Okay.
I just don't even like where
and
we're
and
coming
enjoy
from with that, though.
I don't
and
either.
enjoy 4
It's so
years.
fucked. Listen to
You're
what you're
18.
saying.
You're just
Listen to
saying.
what you're saying.
You're just
You're
saying.
young.
No.
Listen to what
You
you're
don't have
saying.
to grow up so
a-
fast.
You're such. Oh my gosh.
You're saying
You're
if
such
you
a
have
sheep.
it paid
You're
for,
such a sheeple, dude.
if you have it paid for, it's okay to go.
Yeah. Screw your passion. Screw what you care about.
Yeah.
Just
Dude,
go to
why
fucking
can't you
college.
discover your passions in college? I mean, I am in college right now, and I'm pursuing my passion.
You could also discover it out of college. So that point.
It's
could be said
it's
either
not
way.
like, oh, I'm going to college, I can't do anything that I want now. No, a lot of people go to college because that's what they're passionate about.
What's your
sister's
passion?
My sister's a vet. She went to school to become a vet.
Okay.
I'm
What are
in-
you passionate about?
Yeah. So that's
Owning my own
that's
company,
something
that's
I think.
why I'm
Owning your
in
own
business.
company? Okay. You're also passionate, from what you've told me, you're passionate about teaching people and helping people improve their lives, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Has
So
school taught you
maybe-
that, or this like your real life scenarios?
I've had examples in school, but I wouldn't say that school taught me now.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
So
not.
I don't think we've fucking just rebutted you. I think you have good points. There's definitely some good stuff.
I would hope
going
so.
here.
That it's somewhere in the middle. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be a jackass, but
Oh, no,
it is
no,
in the
yeah.
middle.
And like, to credit you a little bit, it is 2 against 1 right here.
Yeah.
So if you had
It's all right.
if you had a second,
I'll take both of you guys
second
on.
buddy. No, you won't.
I'm trying to. Okay.
My question. I'll have a question for you too. Okay.
Okay.
Do you guys wish you would have went to school?
No.
No, there's one thing that I wish I went to school for. So I do music production on the side, and I do wish that I went to school, and I still contemplate going back a little bit just to develop my skills as far as that
Why
goes.
couldn't you just look that up on YouTube?
And I have, and that's something I've done really well at, but I've slacked a little bit because I don't really know. Because with that, there's people that have done music production for a very long time, and it's not a formal education system. It's not like I'm going to sit down to watch a PowerPoint as to what's going on. You're hands-on learning with soundboards, learning how to EQ things, how to actually make music, reverbs, all these things. It actually matters. It's not like I'm just going there to watch a PowerPoint.
And it's a form of art. I mean,
Yeah.
you're creating your own art.
Okay, so
I don't think you can. School can't teach you that. Like, that has to come from you.
But I think that the school offers resources for people to get their hands on. Most
So
kids.
does YouTube.
That's how you watch a video and then what?
Oh,
And then-
you're saying like if
Oh,
I wanted
try
to do
yourself.
music production, for
Yeah.
example, I could watch all the videos in the world, but I couldn't actually music produce
Exactly.
if I didn't have it.
Exactly. And if you go
Yeah.
to school for music production,
it.
they have little groups that you guys go meet and do music production together, and then you're hands on with other people. The problem is,
There's-
one, it's not advertised. Two, it's not required. So
Yeah.
kids just don't really go out and actually go hands on with school. The school offers it. Just,
Yeah.
They don't.
Oh,
press
There's a
it.
lot of
They
lot
don't
of
offer it for a
opportunities.
reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities outside of school that also offer that same kind of thing. You don't
Yeah.
have to go to school just to get like a hands-on class sort of thing for it.
Yeah.
You know, and you said that you wish you would have gone to school for that kind of sometimes.
Yeah,
And you say no,
sometimes.
no.
I went to school for a month and a half and I dropped out.
Okay. Why?
Didn't
Was
wanna
it
be there.
you or was it school?
Well, I chose to drop out. So
Yeah, I know, but like when you were in school, like you just weren't having fun?
no, I wasn't. I just felt like I was in fucking high school again. You go
Yeah.
to you graduate high school. Your first 2 years are the same shit.
Yeah, prereqs. They're the
same
same
fucking
thing
shit.
you learn in high school.
I don't. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
And like I was just so done with it. And a big reason I went to college is because my parents both went to college. They really wanted me to go to college, and it was like that's the thing to do in my family. You go to school.
Yeah.
I'm the first one, like, other than my mom's mom, I think, that hasn't gone to school.
Well, I mean that's I've heard
And
that
some
every
of
way,
my
but not that way. So that must be a lot of pressure on you then. I'm sorry.
And I mean, like, there's my dad's. My dad has a couple siblings that didn't either, but for the most part, it's been you go to school, and like, you're not just going to community college. Like, you're fucking going to a big school.
Was were your parents paying for your college?
Yeah, but they told me since I dropped out, if I ever want to go back, I'm paying for it myself, which is fair. I dropped out.
It's fair.
I wasted like $6,000 of their money, which I paid them back for.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Huh.
So,
I guess, yeah. If we kind of wrap this up because I'm tired of arguing with you guys. I think we can agree that there needs to be a change. People need to. The system needs to change, and the people in the system need to demand a change. I think that creativity, absolutely, like more creativity. I don't even know how to be creative because I've been read this book. Now
there's
answer
a
these
lack
questions.
of passion around what you
yeah,
do.
there is.
There is.
You have creativity in you. You just have been like taught to suppress that.
Absolutely. And I think that you're right. Like in high school, especially like the days, like I took bullshit classes. Like you need to take home ec and you don't need to I don't need to take 4 PE classes, like.
Well, and the other thing of this whole thing is college is a business.
Yeah, it
is. It is.
It's a business, just like.
And it is a thriving business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
what is it? 90? It's like 80 or 90% of the world is in student debt.
Yeah, it's
a lot.
Unreal.
It's more. It's approaching more than our national debt of like what $10 trillion or something
it's
like
unreal.
that.
So I mean, it's about money, just like everything else. It's about money.
But don't you think that if they actually implemented creativity and like made it more appealing, that more people would go and more people would get more money?
Oh, schooling is needed, education is needed, just not the system that it is now.
Yeah, I can agree on that.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even like. What's the word school? Like I just think of that as like a blocked in like education.
Riding the bus.
Yeah, I just think education is all the same. Like we just need to have a better education system. Like, fuck the word school. Like everybody just needs to get educated.
Yeah, I agree. What I will say, and if you guys agree or not, it's fine. But getting a actual degree, saying I graduated from this, this, and this, helps you. And getting looked at. It doesn't help you to get a job. It helps you to get looked at.
I think
that's true.
And I think in most scenarios it helps you it helps you to get out there and get your foot in the door.
Yeah, and there's a lot of networking and stuff. So I'm not saying that school's it's so great, and I know you guys aren't saying it's so bad. Maybe you are, but I definitely think there needs to be a change. And I just don't know what that is. Do you guys have any ideas?
I mean, I don't know where to start.
I think
really.
it starts with this. It starts with conversation.
Conversation, yeah.
It starts with people actually bringing it up and trying to get to work on it.
And you never hear about that.
Yeah.
You never hear about people like protesting how schooling is going.
Yeah.
You don't see it.
I mean,
And especially with how liberal
think-
schools have gotten, you would think that you would kind of start seeing some outbreaks of that.
I
but you
think
haven't.
like we're gonna start to see some more of that
definitely.
in the next, few years.
Well, I mean, you got to think, and I think technology is helping with this because we're actually becoming aware of how easy it is to learn outside of school.
Yeah.
Like, if my teacher doesn't explain something to me very well, they're like, oh, read the textbook. I'm like, fuck that. I go on YouTube, look up how to do it in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Some guy's sitting there at his house drawing it out for me.
See, that's the other thing too.
Clutch.
Is college students, do you use YouTube more than you use
yeah.
a textbook?
Absolutely. Fuck
Yeah.
textbooks.
So,
they
like-
cost $100.
Dude.
And I never read them.
The world is
read
at
And
your
you're
fingertips.
required. Yeah, it is.
And
You're required to get the textbook.
And you know what the most fucked part about it? It's usually the teacher's textbook that they wrote 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They write their own textbooks and then they require it for the class, so you have to buy the textbook.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, it's
fucking
not
business,
even
dude.
regulated
It's not.
necessarily
It's
either.
not.
It's just about getting the money.
And passing the test. That's all it is. And the school wants you to pass the test, so they'll do whatever you can to pass the test. They have
Because
study groups because
That gets their fucking
funding.
rankings
Yeah,
up higher.
they're
And they're
They're
funding.
more money.
Yep.
Yeah.
so
yeah,
yeah,
it's just
it's
the whole
corruption.
system. Yes.
You guys
It
are
is
making me
fucking
realize more now.
corrupted.
It's based around money. It's all a business. The reason why they don't bring the internet into the system is because they don't want you to learn creativity. But, dude, the internet is like the most advanced thing ever, and you can learn whatever the hell you want on it.
I
And there's
fucking love the
something to be
internet.
said for. I can honestly take pride, and I'm proud of myself for how much shit I've learned on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
And
something to be said.
I
for
mean,
that.
And you didn't just
look
learn
at your
it.
hair even. I mean, you looked up how to do your hair this morning. It looks great.
Oh, I did.
And then you threw
can't
a hat
even
on
fucking
over
see
it.
So I don't know
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Throwing hats on. You know, but it's kind of
I need
crazy.
to like learn how to trim my beard though.
Yeah, you do.
Fucking getting a
So
little
does he.
shaggy.
Look at him.
It's scruffy. It's
I
patchy.
can't even
Don't look
grow
at
a
me.
beard.
Don't look at me, all right?
Jeez.
Yeah, you got a bald face all the time.
I do.
Yeah.
But what I will say, boys, is it's challenging. And like for you guys are very successful not going to school. I'm going to school. I'm very successful. I don't think it's so much the school system. I think, yes, it's fucking up a lot of people for student debts and they're going into debt for something they don't need. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you go to school, if you don't go to school. If you're driven and if you have passions and you follow those passions,
Yep.
then fuck school. You'll get your own education through experience.
Yeah.
And you guys are absolutely right. The best experience is hands-on experience, failing your fucking face off, and then recovering and learning not what to do.
Yep.
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 And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think that's
I think I
Yeah, I
can
think
I
we're
can
all in
agree with
agreement
you
with
on
that,
that
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
If you grind and you want it hard enough, no matter
Yeah.
if you went to school, if you didn't go to school, you're gonna fucking get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. As long as you know, I think the end result to kind of wrap this up is if you know you can take education into your own hands, you don't need someone to teach you, I think you'll be fine. Because a lot of things come up throughout your life. Like you realize you want to do different things all the time. You know, like it wasn't like I always wanted to do marketing. That just came up, and then I just taught myself a lot more about it. So if you know you can educate yourself and really take your life into your own hands, I mean, that's pretty much, I think, the consensus of what we come to. So
I think so.
well. I'm glad I'm done yelling at you
It was
guys
a
today.
really good conversation though.
Yeah, it
Glad
It
we had
was. And yeah, well, thank everybody for watching.
Yeah,
We
thank
are
you guys.
signing out from Roaring 20s.
Later, guys.
later. Here, I'll try. Oh, fuck.